The Danish Ambassador to Ghana, Tom Noring, is urging Ghana to harness its natural resources fully to reduce reliance on imported essential commodities amidst the backdrop of the Russia-Ukraine conflict's adverse impact on the global economy. Citi News' Fauzu Masaudu has gathered insights from an exclusive media engagement with the ambassador.
In 2015, Russia and Ukraine inked the Minsk Agreement to resolve their territorial dispute, which had erupted the preceding year. Despite the agreement's failure to materialize, intermittent ceasefires brought temporary peace to both nations. However, on February 24, 2022, Russia's invasion of Ukraine reignited the conflict, driven by existing tensions and to hinder Ukraine's NATO aspirations. As the repercussions of the conflict reverberate worldwide, numerous United Nations Security Council members, including Ghana, have denounced Russia's action against Ukraine. During a media briefing at his Accra residence, Danish Ambassador Tom Noring expressed frustration over the diplomatic challenges in securing ceasefire between the warring nations.
When you already have a full-scale military activity, it is very, very difficult for diplomatic efforts to really work. Sure, there's no doubt about that. We are in a different place. When you're in a crisis, when you're in a confrontation that is non-military or very, very limited, then diplomacy stands a great chance. But it's sad that that has not been the case here. It is sad. I think it's also sad that 2014, the Russian invasion of Crimea wasn't the stopping game, so to speak. That seems to be something that gave them an idea that if we can do it here, we can do it anywhere. So unfortunately, where we're at now is a stage where it's very hard to see diplomacy work directly. I will not say it's due to lack of efforts of different parties. The European Union has done its part along the way since 2014, all the way leading up to the 2022 attacks.
Against the backdrop of the conflict's global economic ramifications, Ambassador Noring outlined Denmark's plan to assist Ghana in mitigating its impact.
I can say for our part that we are not, Denmark as such is not today a developing partner in terms of providing development aid to Ghana. That was already a fact before this crisis in 22. We phased out our development assistance in 2020 in line with Ghana's economic development and as a result of long-term or long-time conversation with the Ghana government. So our focus has been different. But that doesn't mean that we have reduced our development aid in total. Where we are, we continue. Denmark is still one of a handful of countries, I think it's down to 4 countries right now, that provide 0.7% of our GDP in development aid across the globe. Now that was, or still is, the United Nations General Assembly request of the developed countries to provide 0.7% of our GDP in development assistance. We are only 4 countries, amongst them Denmark, that still does that. So we still do that.
The surge in oil and gas prices, coupled with looming food security threats following Russia's withdrawal from Green Agreement, underscores the global fallout. However, what lessons can developing economies like Ghana glean from this crisis? Ambassador Noring advocates for Ghana to maximize its natural resource potential.
It's just maybe a coincidence, but the loss of food from producer to consumer is the same as I just mentioned about water, is about 50%. 50% is lost on the way. That's a little sad for the poor farmer who's doing an excellent job of producing some great pineapples or cassava, whatever it is. But what you end up with is unfortunately only half of it reaching the consumers. And that also means reaching the export opportunities. So one of the things that can be done is to work on this area of how to secure that you lose less. Cold storage, cold chain, when transport, etc. This is a learning experience, I think, that you need to, because you can feed yourselves. You have an abundance. Some of the crops that you grow in Ghana can be harvested 3 times a year. In other countries, it's once a year. Think about the potential.
The Russia-Ukraine war has led to the loss of thousands of lives and the destruction of properties worth millions of dollars, and given its adverse impact on the global economy, a ceasefire is non-negotiable. For Citi News, Fauzuma Saudu, Accra.